Welcome to another Friday episode of Hold the Mic, where facts matter more than feelings. Do us a favor, hit that like and subscribe button, and let's get into it. Hey everybody, welcome to this week's episode of Hold the Mic that I really don't fucking want to do. We are your hosts, Ryanshead, that's Ian Sherman. Brother, how are you doing?
Hey, in great fashion. We are always late, man. We made sure, even for the season finale, we're like, you know what?
We had to, some things don't change.
Some things don't change. It's the staple of who we are, and I
Yep.
love it. Oh my God.
It's gonna be one of those episodes. It's one that I think I cannot be sober for. So I'm gonna make sure that doesn't happen. And we're gonna go through some things and some data, because I think the thing that we've really focused on this show is, we have some feelings, but we like to post a lot of data, which clearly some of you don't really give a fuck about, but we're going to post it anyway.
Apparently you guys love this show so much. We had the red mirage that took place, all right?
Yeah, the red mirage that turned into a fucking nightmare.
We've had such a red show. Ryan literally is wearing the colors of the team. That's where we're here at.
This is the color of anger. This is like Tiger Woods red on Sundays.
No,
like, I'm
elemental.
Just fucking mad.
It's
either red or black. It's either fucking funeral or a fight.
Oh my God,
I only have two settings.
It's so good. You know what? The Republicans won so bad that they just marked you up too. Bro, that's how I look at it.
Bro, that's the kicker. That right there, what you just said. The fact that we got our asses handed to us. Like, it wasn't even close.
I've never seen anybody wear the other color jersey after that ass whooping until now.
Oh, well, I like to be a trendsetter.
Are you doing the Trump? Are you joining the Republican team after being a Democrat? Is that what's happening?
I'll be an independent. I don't know, but no. There's
Ryan,
nothing. There's literally nothing those motherfuckers could do. Donald Trump himself, Elon Musk and Donald Trump could walk in and say, "We'll give you a fucking check for $1 billion. All you have to do is go out publicly and say that you're with us." I'd tell them to fuck off.
I honestly think
$1 billion ain't worth my soul.
I think you would do really well being a Pied Piper with your Ryan rants for some Republicans, Well, just scream about some Mexicans or how dirty Detroit is, anything. It's just whatever.
That's the thing. Like, the kicker is it working?
I don't know, man.
You know what I'm saying?
I don't know.
We get all the hate, we get all the trolls. They don't waste their time on people that aren't being somewhat effective.
Well, didn't you tell me that you started losing number of trolls? Like, people started popping
a ton.
Off?
So, but it's not just me.
They closed the factories down?
Well, it's not just me. It's a lot of accounts. Now, here's what I think's happening. I think it's two things. I think, yes, the bot farms that were being used are being shut down, which means you're going to probably lose all those bots that were following you. But the other thing that's happening on a lot of apps, particularly Elon Musk's and Facebook, is people are shutting them down from the left wing. They're just shutting their accounts down because they're done.
Interesting.
So, it's a combination of things. It's not just one thing. It's just like losing this election. It wasn't just one group. It wasn't just one thing. It was a litany of things. And it's the problem that the Democrats always fucking have, which is the liberals and Democrats can never get on the same page, ever.
Right.
And this election is the perfect example, because you can see
all or nothing. That mentality of all or nothing. It's
right.
Like there's no compromise. Like, are we in a relationship?
None.
Like, that doesn't work in a relationship.
If they're like, oh, we're just gonna, and that's literally how Donald Trump won. It's let's fuck the libs. Let's own the libs. That was their agenda. And it worked. It literally worked. They literally got people to vote against their own interests.
Man, heavily.
Yeah.
heavily.
So
fuck me. Okay.
Yeah.
What I sign? Oh my God!
He's the one that fucked your bitch. Fuck! What are you saying? Fuck me for? Fuck him!
Oh my God! I love that 50 clip. I love. What do you say? Fuck me for? I love how offended he grabbed his pearls.
Yeah, like, I'm offended.
What do you say? Fuck me for? I love that clip. Oh, it's such a good
the
clip.
fact that you knew that. That's why we do this show.
Man. Come on.
Oh,
I ain't losing my black job, goddammit. I know they deporting motherfuckers, but I ain't losing my black job.
Losing job, shit. They just guaranteed 4 more seasons of this damn show. Like,
look, America, you did it to yourself, okay? You literally felt like you had to have us on here to talk that shit on Fridays. You clearly wanted a Feelings Friday, a Ryan rant. You wanted a no fucks given, no holds bar weekend to really enjoy yourself. So here we are.
Yep.
You just co-signed us for a 4-year stunt.
4 more seasons. Yeehaw.
4 more seasons.
With that
but
said,
this is a season finale.
Yep. With that said, this will be our season finale. So we will be taking a break. We will be back January 6th, which will be the day that they will certify this horrible fucking election.
Are we about to be the J6s? Is that what we're about to be?
I mean, that's the day we're going to come back.
So we just literally went full circle. We're now the J6s.
Yeah. Well,
can we have our own choir? Bro.
Yeah, Kamala's leading it. So
too soon. Too soon.
You set it up.
Oh man, you had to knock it down, man. Come on.
I know, it was low hanging fruit. So but no, we're gonna take a little bit of a break. We're gonna enjoy the holidays. It's been a long road. I don't know how, I'm not gonna speak for how Ian's feeling, but I'm just feeling a little defeated right now. And I think a lot of us are. I think that's a very normal feeling for us to have, especially after so much fighting and so much of your time has been put into this. Whether you made phone calls, whether you sent postcards, whether you knocked doors, whatever it is that you did, you gave your time, you gave your resources, you gave your blood and your sweat, your tears, literally. So, it's normal to feel that defeat. So feel it, process it, enjoy the holidays. Let's remember why this country is great. And, let's focus on moving forward. At the end of the day, I will say this. I don't want to see Donald Trump fail, because if Trump fails, that means we fail. So I hope that some miraculous way he finds a conscience, a soul, a brain along the way, hopefully. But I don't have much hope for that. So I'm buckling up my seatbelt and giving it a nice little tug to make sure I'm cinched in for this. And we'll just keep fighting, because at the end of the day, we don't have a choice. We got midterms coming up in 2 years. So, that's going to come by real quick. We're going to be literally starting a campaign for that middle of next year. So that's literally 6 months away.
So I'm going to just add to what you said, and I'm just going to take it a little left. I hope this motherfucker absolutely fails, okay? Because here's the reality. He has the House, he has the Senate, and he has the White House, okay? And he has the Supreme Court. You can't blame anybody if your shit flops, all right? Midterms are in 2 years. If he fails between now and the midterms, you will see the revenge of the Sith, okay? You will see everybody come out and they mama to make sure that he doesn't have an extension of any type of career. Because if he has unchecked power for 4 years, then I'm telling you right now, no, he's going to be going all the way. And here's the thing with all these Americans. What is it? The 71 million that voted for him. This is on you. This is your America.
74 million.
74. That's the final count. I stopped paying attention. I was like, and he got it. And it is what it is at that point.
Yeah, by the way, fuck you and your positivity the other night.
Man, that was the beer talking. Okay, I was enjoying myself.
Oh, is that what we're blaming it on?
I was sitting back and I was relaxed. I said we made it here, man. That's the reality of that night. And I was
look at my eyes,
calm, cool. Look at your eyes. It's like the calm, cool, collected of that night was for us to be there, that we achieved what we achieved. We set out a year ago. We started this show. We've grown so much. We had 5,000 something watching us live. Like we had a great night, regardless of it turning into shit. But we knew that it was going to be whatever it was.
I started rewatching. You could tell where it started going to shit. Oh, I got real quiet.
With you, it got quiet. It got quiet real fast.
I was like,
I said,
damn.
Ooh, okay.
Because I knew. I just like at that point, I knew. Like I knew
you just felt it. You felt.
Well, I mean, just looking at it, it was like it was already getting to the point where she couldn't win.
She had 24 electoral college votes, and he had 190.
Yeah,
it's like,
190. You're like,
wait a minute. You're like, these numbers ain't really.
That don't feel close. That don't feel close at all.
Nothing's coming in. Nothing. Yeah. Not even my auntie's vote. Nothing.
Yeah,
okay.
So,
all right. But I say all that to say, fuck him. Fuck him. Fuck his administration that's coming in. They have everybody, and I only say this respectfully. If he does have a crash, a recession, a depression, you will see everybody come back with vengeance to remove this administration.
Yep.
If he is succeeding across the board for 4 years, who's to say that he's not going to try with his ultimate power to extend for another 4 years?
Yep.
So I'm not interested, and I want this to be a reminder for everybody. Hitler was voted in. Welcome to the new game.
And I'm going to say it the same way that Marshawn Lynch said it to Pete Carroll. If this happens. Uh-oh. Don't call me during my show, damn it.
I was like, that's what he said? That's the quote?
That's my fault. My fault.
And I'm going to quote somebody and tell them, shit, what's going on?
Yeah, let me make sure that doesn't happen again.
My shit is on mute because I'm making sure
it's that kind of show.
It's
just that kind of show.
It's the last one, guys. We're here to have fun with you. We're here to process this bullshit, and we're also here to just look at, like you said, some data and keep it honest, okay? We would love for you guys to check in and write to us on the group chat. Like, subscribe, hit the notification button. So this is going to be our season finale, but we are making sure we are here with you.
So as I was saying, in the words of Marshawn Lynch to Pete Carroll after they lost the Super Bowl, that's going to be my fucking response.
There it is. Oh, you gave me. That's what I'm saying. You told me this is what it's going to be. I told you.
For 4 years, every fucking I told you.
Anytime anybody says anything, I go, Trump's going to fix it. So it's on him.
Yep.
It's on him. Take it.
Call Trump. Text him.
It's on Trump.
He has so many great ideas.
All the concepts and the plans are coming out. Oh my God. We'll get into all that stuff, but I have to tell you that I have doom scrolled so much, and I honestly hate you because you got me into all these into the social media world.
You're welcome.
I lived a very peaceful life being ignorant from all that. And now I'm in it, and I wake up.
That's why whenever you call me and you say, I'm so thankful for this, and I'm glad we're doing this. I look forward to this. I'm like,
not at 4 in the fucking morning when I can't help myself. Then I hate you. Then I hate you. Two things can be true. Two things can be true.
That's true. Two things can be true. So I just see something from my brother. My sister knows why I'm not fucking calling her. That's because her and her fucking husband are Trump supporters, so she can fuck off. And knowing that you probably voted for Trump too, you're lucky I'm still talking to you. If you hadn't fucking practically raised me for 8 years, I'd tell you to fuck off too. But you're the one person I'm going to let get away with it. Everybody else can kiss my ass.
You heard it here live on the show. Ryan gives 0 fucks, and it starts.
Don't give a fuck.
Inside the house.
Yep. Nope. Got into it with her husband about Trump and fucking bullshit, and yeah, that was it.
Here we are. Now, let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. Is it, and you don't have to really deep dive too much about personal life and these matters, because I don't want to put them out where they can't justify themselves. But the conversations I'm having with individuals too, do you feel that it is an absolute direct attack on your relationship with Jen, being in an interracial relationship?
100%. 100%. That's my thing. If you vote for Trump, you just said you really don't give a fuck about my family.
Yeah.
Like kids are getting sent text messages, talking that they're coming to get them, that you're going to be slaves again. Kids are getting told in school, Trump won, come tie my shoelace, slave. Right. This is happening because Trump won.
Right.
So you're clearly okay with, in my sister's case, your niece and nephew being treated like a fucking slave.
Right.
So I don't give a fuck how you justify it economically, morally, however it is you justify voting for that motherfucker. You voted for a rapist and a piece of shit that literally is making it so other people can treat my family like shit. So
and they really don't give a fuck. They really don't care.
They really don't. And they don't understand
rapist?
When you tell them, when you explain to them why you're upset, like, I cannot have you in my life around my kids if you are going to support that. Like, it's literally that, it's that cut and dry.
Right.
Like it just is.
Like the first ones to
show me who you are.
Yeah. Listen when they tell you who they are.
I gave you the benefit in 2016 because everybody votes for somebody the first time, hoping that they're gonna deliver. The second time, I thought you were fucking stupid. Then January 6th happened, and I thought there's no way that the American people are gonna put a domestic terrorist in the White House. Then he became a felon. Then he had to pay up for a rape case, and I thought, there's no fucking way the majority of Americans are going to put this dude in the White House and give him ultimate power to make all this shit go away. And then it happened. And here we are. So no, if you're in my life and I find out you're a MAGA Trump supporter in any fucking way, shape, or form, you're out of my life. Like, I'm not joking. Like, my sister's blocked on fucking everything. I blocked her on fucking everything. Like, if you asked me what her phone number is, I couldn't even fucking tell you.
Damn. This is what
Same
Trump's
with
doing,
my
man.
mom. Like, I've cut people out of my life. Like, I don't fucking care.
Yeah.
Like, this is my family.
Right.
My wife, my 2 kids, that's my family.
Yeah.
And if you don't give a fuck about them, then fuck you too.
What do you say fuck me for? I didn't even do nothing.
What you say fuck me
for? I thought you'd enjoy that right back at you.
I thought you'd enjoy
it. I'm with you. I get it. And it's heavy. It's heavy. It's a heavy situation. And guys, this is what the show's all about. You know, we're going to laugh about some shit. We're going to get serious about some shit. But you will never see us fucking cry on this show for all these trolls to take and clip.
By the way, all you people out there like videoing yourselves crying and shit, like I love you all. I do. Like I love you. Like I say this with love. Don't do that. Don't give these people the satisfaction. Go cry in a fucking dark corner. I'm not saying don't cry about it. I'm telling you, don't fucking film yourself.
Some shit
and
needs
give
to
these
be left.
people that satisfaction.
Some shit needs to be left alone.
Am I wrong? Like, am I wrong?
You take your ugly cry the fuck into your bedroom,
right?
And you have a moment to yourself. Collect your fucking thoughts and
have
get back into it.
You know?
Don't tell me that Martin Luther King didn't have a fucking cry. All right, don't tell me he didn't.
Don't tell me Martin Luther King didn't smoke a bowl. Fuck.
First and foremost, I had a dream.
I had a dream that one day, my brothers and sisters,
that's some high thoughts, man. That's some high thoughts. I'm telling you right now.
Hey, pot's legal.
It worked.
A lot of places.
It worked. So yeah.
What's this dude say? Bro, take a chill pill and focus on your. He's got a heart and a flag. Well, let's put it up. Yeah. So survived 4711. Yeah, okay. Bro, take a chill pill and focus on yourself. Also, stop using your daughter as a political pawn. It's disgusting. See, that's the problem. You guys think that us talking about our kids and why we vote to protect them, you find it disgusting. What's disgusting is when you all come at me in defense of me saying that I voted for her right to choose and you call her a whore. Or you tell her to, learn how to respect her body, or learn how to keep her legs closed, or learn about contraceptives or the Plan B pill. You come up with all these reasons that my daughter's a whore. And you say I shouldn't be using her as a political pawn. Like, please go fuck yourself.
By the way, his daughter is underage, and
11 years old, and they're talking about her like, your daughter's a whore.
Literally put her out there like this.
Yeah.
And it's to me.
That's why I can't post pictures of her.
To me, I really do feel like the QAnon and the MAGA are closet pedophiles. Like I don't know. Their fantasies
they're not
are
closeted anymore. Shit. They just voted for one.
They just voted. They just voted. Stamp of approval.
Just voted for one.
But thank you for being here. You could be anywhere on a Friday on X,
and
you're here with us. So welcome.
Yep. So with that said, we want to go through some of the actual data because it really is very telling and shocking, I think, when you really just break down the data.
Yeah.
So let's do that. Exit polls. So here you will see the exit polls for this election. And let's start with gender. So these are in key states. So just for fairness, these are, I think, in 10 key states that these were all taken from. So I might say at the bottom what all the states were. Slow down. Okay, I don't see it, but I do know that this is only key states. So just keep that in mind.
So it's not the full picture of every single thing.
No, and I tried to select it, but so here are the key states. So it's Arizona, Florida, Georgia, Michigan, Nevada, North Carolina, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Texas, and Wisconsin. So these are the states that we're looking at here. Out of those states, the people that voted for Trump, gender, just overall gender, men 55% to 42% for Kamala. Women was 45% for Trump and 53% for Kamala. So kind of expected there in terms, expected the
polling
women
was spot on with that one.
Yeah, expected that one. So let's move down to what race are you? So for 71% was white. And for that, 57% went for Trump, while 41% went for Kamala. Now, of course, the Black community, 85% for Kamala, 13% for Trump. The Hispanic and Latino, which was kind of a shocker, 52% for Kamala, 46% for Trump. The Asian community went 39% for Trump, 54% for Kamala. And then others, which I'm not exactly sure what counts for others, but that one was 54% for Trump and only 42% for Kamala.
Now, the one thing that is missing from this is that the Native American vote was 64% for Trump.
Well, it's right here.
Is that right there? Is it on the bottom?
So,
Am I
yeah,
jumping?
American Indian.
Would that not be in the same bracket as all the others? I can't see
Looks like they must have added it.
Huh. Okay. Well, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to jump the gun, but
well, no, you didn't jump it. Technically, it's in the next thing, but it's like the same.
I thought that would be the same thing. But so
anyway, so
that's
like you said, the
right
American Indian, like he's saying, is right here, guys, and it's 65. It went 65% to Trump and almost 34% for Kamala Harris. Like, what do these people think Trump's going to do for them?
So I think we need another Exxon pipeline. Guys, this is where I'm at. I'm sorry. I'm not running from this. Okay, I'm leaning into it. We tried to tell you. We tried to talk to you.
Told you.
I'm not going to advocate for you anymore.
Nope.
That's the part where I'm at in life. I'm now going to just sit back and say, great, they want to do a pipeline through your tribe? Okay. 64% of you who voted for them? Cool.
Hey, that's more profit for us to pay down our deficit. Make room.
Do your thing. The Keystone runs through a reservation.
So, again, we're literally watching people vote against their own interests.
Yeah.
And it only gets worse from here, guys. So, seriously.
Buckle up.
So, overall race, white versus non-white. White, 57% to 41%. Non-white, 64% to 33%. So, 33% was Trump. 64% was Harris. And with white folks, it was 57% Trump, 41% Harris.
Yeah.
So, it seems we have a white problem.
I could have told you that from 1776.
I mean,
sorry.
I think Obama got it because he had enough white in him for them to justify voting for him or something. I don't know.
There were a lot of pictures of his mother. That's all I'm going to say. I didn't see a lot of his father.
You didn't see it? Yeah, you saw like one photo of his father from a distance with sunglasses on. That was
he
it.
talked about his grandma all the time. I'm just saying. His little sweet grandma.
There was some method, I think, behind that for sure.
Absolutely.
But no, we've talked a lot about this, and unfortunately, I got shushed a lot over the last few years telling folks, and we talked about it on the show. I said, I'm not sure if America's ready for a black woman, and I'm not sure if they're ready for an interracial first couple.
Yeah.
And what I keep trying to get through to folks is that the religious people, particularly, whether they're left or right, really don't like interracial marriage.
They're all the same, man.
And it really doesn't have anything to do with religion. It just, there's a lot of white people out there, and not even white people. There's just people out there that don't like interracial marriage.
We're talking about organized.
No, but even
religion.
The black community don't like interracial marriage. You know what I'm saying?
You're talking about organized religion, though.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah. So, I'm religious. I'm Catholic, but
right. But organized religion and really the black church doesn't like the gay situation. Well, that's the one that they are very like Buttigieg does not have a chance.
Well, yeah, but that's like, oh, who do you hate more? That's not saying much.
I don't want to test that one out right now. I'm not ready for that.
I don't want to test any of them out.
I want to
like coming in like. Let me put it to you this way. I have zero. And when I say zero, I mean 0.0000000% faith in Clarence Thomas of the Supreme Court upholding loving. I have zero faith in it.
But that's because he wants a divorce, man. He hates this bitch. Like, let's be serious, man. That's all that is.
I'm going to divorce this bitch before she goes to jail.
Gone, okay? How do I get rid of this bitch? That's all that is.
Nah, she's running things. He can't get rid of her.
Why do you think he wants to change the law? That's it.
Oh man.
No, and guys, for the loving law, it literally is interracial. It's what created me. It's what created Ryan's kids. Thanks, Dad. And it's also one of those things where it really does capture and hold on to the LGBTQ to have the rights to get married. So it is on the chopping block now more than ever.
I love what John said. Don't ask me for money or GoFundMe. I'm minding my own black business. Hey,
John, brother, I see you and I'm with you. We got 4 years to just relax.
And I understand.
Sit this one out.
Yep.
So, but come here on Fridays and enjoy yourself. Because
definitely come back here.
This is free.
But no, my wife does not follow this like I do. Like, She doesn't watch show every week. Like she doesn't follow politics a whole lot, but she started following a lot, over the last year or two. And like like I'm usually the one that gets upset. I'm like, oh shit, we lost this, we lost that. And this year, I was woken up by her crying. The night the morning after the election, and I went to bed and I told her, I was like, I already knew it was done. We went to bed around midnight Arizona time, so they had already started announcing that he had won. And so I went to bed kind of knowing that unless something crazy flipped, that it was probably a done deal.
Which is what I was more optimistic towards.
Well, that's what she was too. She's like, she was kind of like, stop it, stay positive. I'm like, like I'm the realist.
But you know what? But see, here's the thing though, Ryan, and this is maybe what is a fault of Black people. We have seen, felt, tasted, and experienced such pain that we use hope as a weapon, as a shield. We use it in a way to continue to move forward, right? And it's one of those things where it's in us, ingrained. And think about DNA in the concept that DNA is stories, so we feel that shit.
Yeah.
Like I feel certain things. Trauma is passed down through your DNA.
Yep.
And so there's things there where you have to instinctively hold on to hope, because we wouldn't be here if we didn't have that.
Yeah.
You don't go through that kind of shit for 400 years and just be like, we were all miserable this entire time and we all made it out. No, it's people who have hope in some of the darkest times that make it.
Yeah.
Something to think about.
Yeah.
And I'm saying that to you, and I'm going to call you motherfucker right now, respectfully.
No, you can call me motherfucker.
Motherfucker for you for the next 4 years. Find hope.
See, and motherfucker, let me tell you something. I'm not
I didn't give you permission, motherfucker.
I don't give you fuck if you give me permission. It's 50-50, bitch.
Yes.
The problem with me is that I'm not fueled by hope. I'm fueled by anger.
Yeah.
And that kind of goes with everything in my life. Like, and I think I'm really just saying this for people that are more like me, because I think that there are people like me that hope doesn't necessarily fuel you, especially in moments like this, as much as anger does. But it's how you harness that anger. It's what you do with it, and so that you're like me, and your fuel that gets you in the mood to make change and get out there and do things. If anger is what makes you do that, then harness that.
Absolutely. I'm not. But
no, I know.
I'm not saying that's 24/7.
But right now,
you're not angry all the time.
I think we can start talking about hope in a few months. The people that
rewind though, we're talking about the moment of not knowing.
Not knowing what?
The unknown, where we did not know where things were going to go on the show on election night. Like we did not know. You had a feeling, but you did not know.
No, not for sure.
That's
But I mean, the data was all pointing to it.
As you said, you stayed up till 12, so the data was coming out. I'm saying when we recorded the show before we turned it off, it was a moment.
I went and watched the show. Like I was
watched all the hope leave your face.
Fuck! It was horrible. Like I said, I probably should have stopped recording about 45 minutes before we did. Honestly, but yeah, it was just but at the same time, it's kind of cool that it caught our genuine natural reaction of holy shit, this really isn't going to go our way, and then it went instantly to how did we fuck this up? How did we get it so wrong? Because guys, here are the facts. The facts are that 12 million less voters showed up on the Democratic side. Or like
no show, just
didn't show up. And right now, at this moment, there is almost exactly 4 million votes separating Donald Trump and Kamala Harris.
Yeah.
Donald Trump is the first Republican candidate to win the popular election since George Bush in 2004.
George Bush wasn't popular?
Second time.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, you know what I'm saying? Like, these are facts.
But this is not about Donald Trump really winning. It's not that he outdid, because he did less than his numbers were in 2020.
Yeah. What am I doing? What happened?
You didn't want to see my face.
Yes.
And one of the things about this, when you're looking at that with winning the popular vote, and I think the context does matter, is that when we look at him, um, she had what 66 million, or what was her final numbers?
60. She's at like 69 million, and he's at 74.
74. So he has okay. So
She's practically at 70 million.
70. Okay,
Yeah,
so
it's
she's at
like
70.
69
Right.
900 and something
Whatever.
thousand. Yeah, yeah.
I bet you she's not going to get cyber ninjas to find some votes. That's what I do think.
Well, I think that there are going to be a couple states that might look into their elections
Interesting. Which
because
is allowed. I mean, it's not. There's nothing
well,
that.
I mean, yeah, I think we should look into them. I don't think we should all run around screaming election fraud.
No,
You
no.
know,
And I'm not even
I
interested.
do. I will say that I do feel the way that I see a lot of people posting, which is something feels off. And that's as much as that's as close as you're going to get me to saying that there was any type of massive election fraud. But
Right.
it real like 14 million less people show up.
Yeah.
Like and the popular vote is this wide.
Yeah.
And it's somebody like Donald Trump. It's just so hard to understand. Like, these are facts, people. I've done video upon video of how many times this guy's committed fraud against our country, against people, against companies, against employees. Like, and then you look at his job that he did under 4 years as president. He did not do a good job.
Right.
And you're talking about gas prices. You keep citing gas prices from COVID when nobody was driving. Yeah, no shit, gas was $2 a gallon. Like,
but even the people who don't realize that we're under Trump's tax cuts right now, and the fact that it's like
prime example.
Go ahead.
Sorry. No, I should let you speak. Go ahead.
No. I want you to take that because you have passion right now, and I want to hear that.
But just so you know, I'm sorry that I'm stopping on you.
No.
The kicker is I did a video for coppercourier.com, which, by the way, if you happen to be in Arizona listening, or if anyway, actually, you don't even need to be in Arizona. You should just coppercourier.com puts out a lot of really good liberal media, but they try really hard to stick to more facts than feelings, which is why I like working with them. But what was I saying?
I was talking about the tax cuts, but
yeah. So I did an article for them on Copper Courier, and they actually talked about that, and they listed all the things that Kamala Harris had planned, and then they compared it to his plan, which was mainly tariffs, no tax on tips.
Concepts of a plan.
And one of the kicker was, so if you go back and look, his tax plan took the corporate tax rate from 35%, or no, I think it was 35% down to 21%.
Huh?
And now, so right now the corporate tax rate is at 21%. His new plan is to take it from 21% down to 15%.
And make it permanent.
So now let me ask you, if you keep cutting your income down, right? And that's what we're doing.
Revenue stream.
The government is cutting their revenue streams by allowing these corporations to keep more of their money. And in return, they have to recoup that money somewhere else. Where do you think that they do that? Everybody that just fucking voted for this douchebag.
All I can say is I know a lot of people who we graduated high school with, a lot of people that I've met out here in New York. Y'all ain't making no $300,000, $500,000 a year.
No, well, let's get back to the.
You were not in that bracket.
So let's get back to the exit polls.
So yeah, so here we go.
So the tax polls, I'm sorry, they really do back up what Ian just said. So let's get away from race, because we already talked about that. Now let's get into the age groups, because this was something that I really found interesting. Was that I was one of those people too that said Gen Z was gonna come out and save us and just vote in massive numbers. I thought it was gonna look like the black vote did. Yeah, I thought it was gonna be like 93%, but turns out there are a lot of Gen Zers that
love their racist grandpa.
And more important, did you see the gap? Do you see the gap of
women and men?
No. If you look right here, hang on. If you look at the age 18 to 24, which is 9% of voters, 54% were for Kamala, 42% were for Trump. But it's this gap right here. So all these people were like, I won't vote for either of them.
I see what you're saying. That gray area is the
gray
area. Got it. Okay.
So,
wow.
And same up here, age 18 to 44. See the gap? That's a big gap.
Yeah. Yeah, as people fit it
So
out.
you look at our age group, 39 to or 30 to, or, sorry, let me go back. Let's look at the age group 25 to 29. That was 45% for Trump, 53 for Kamala. Age 30 to 39 was 50% for Kamala, 46% for Trump.
Mm.
Um, 40 to 49 was 48% for Kamala, 50% for Trump. So that's my age group. Way to go, douche. Age 50 to 64 was 43% for Kamala, 56% for Trump, which that's not horribly surprising. Now, what was a little surprising to me was 65 and over.
Boomers. The boomers.
It was 50-50,
Yeah.
49% to 49%,
Yeah. The
with a
boomers.
with a little 1% gap there.
And you know, there's a lot of grandmas who are like, I've seen this shit. That was the abortion right there. That right there screams for grandmas
Yep,
looking and worried about their granddaughters. That's what that is.
yep.
That's
And it
wild.
and you guys can see. And by the way, I'm getting all this from NBCnews.com/politics. You can pull this all up for yourself, so you
Any
can really.
Republican you show it to, they'll just call it fake news. So yeah.
Well, I mean, they just don't like us pointing out, that white people are the problem. Like, look at this. This on the screen right now.
Yeah.
This is insane.
Yeah.
Black voters, age by race. Black voters from 18 to 29, 30 to 44, 45 to 64, 65%. Not one group was under 82%.
Yeah.
82% of black voters showed up and voted for Kamala. 15% of black voters voted for Trump, and only 5% of black voters over the age of 65. So where the fuck was everybody else?
To touch on what you're saying right now with black voters, it was the Jews that showed up that voted with the black
Oh,
vote.
yeah.
For the black vote to be 92% for women, black women voting for Kamala, it was 88 for Jewish women
Yeah.
voting for Kamala. And for it to be 78 black men voting for Kamala, 71% Jewish men voted for Kamala.
Yeah.
It makes you really question the whole concept of the pro-Hamas movement that took place in the past year in America.
Yeah.
Because you have these, and I've always said this to you, blacks and Jews have been together for a long time. Civil rights movement, they've been holding it down. They helped create the NAACP together. They have been fighting the good fight, and they've always been on the front lines. And notoriously, Jews in America, not speaking Israeli, American Jews have always predominantly voted with the Democratic Party because they are progressive. They believe in science, and they are definitely about women's rights.
Yeah.
It's so wild to see how things have flipped and where things have gone. And I know we've gone back and forth. Is it, the with the protest vote? But we'll jump into more of it.
And before we move on from this part of the graph, because this is really the best graph example that we can use for this, and I hope you'll allow me to address this, and you can address it later if you want. But when you see these black folks on social media, and they're using their platform to tell the white community and the Latino community and the Indian community and the Arab community to go fuck themselves and don't ask them for shit for the next 4+ years. This is why. Because when they asked for us to show up and help Kamala Harris win an election, we didn't show up. Not only did we not show up, but especially the white community, as you can see, showed America that we are definitely still a racist community. Because or you just hate women, or both.
Two things can be true.
Yeah, two things can be true at the same time. Whatever your reason that you didn't vote for this woman, the fact of the matter is that you guys just put a convicted felon, an adjudicated rapist, an accused pedophile, and a man that tried to overthrow the last election that he lost back into the White House. And that, to me, it will forever be one of the craziest things that I will ever see in my life.
Yeah. This is we're tired, man. We're tired.
Oh, I need a break.
We're tired of putting our bodies. Well, but just in general, the black.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. Yeah.
But you know what, brother? I'm glad you identify. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I mean, no, because now I feel like I was,
Let Jen
I
see
didn't want to
that.
make it about
Let
myself.
Jen, hey man, hey, be the Starbucks in the hood. You know what I'm saying? Just post up. Just post up. Gentrify the
By
fuck
the way,
out of
did you
this.
did you hear the black community was shutting down Starbucks?
Bro, why do you think I'm doom scrolling? Okay, I'm literally all my feed is
Jen's
now
the one
is
telling me all these because she's doom scrolling.
Jen is literally at Starbucks right now watching the show. I'm
I'm
telling
surprised
you,
she hasn't ordered. We stopped ordering like a year ago.
I bet you it's on the menu. I bet you it's back in the house. It's I'm not kidding you.
Oh, we did it for the money.
When I tell you that I'm sitting there and I'm looking at the Black Caucus, we're tired.
Yeah,
We're tired of putting our bodies on the line. We're
rightfully
tired
so.
of entertaining. We're tired of doing everything because one of the biggest things that some and of course in the doom scrolling, they're talking about some of these white girls that were doing all the hip hop songs, and it's some white girl in the bathroom or whatever. And then it's like it's a movement that's happening right now. Again, I got sucked into this, and it's one of those things where they were like, yo, how did this white girl vote for Trump? Like all she does is content for like that's our demographic. It's all of our music. It's all this stuff. It's our culture that she's appropriating.
Yeah,
But we like her because of how she gets down. And then you turn around and then you vote for Trump. And so people were trying to understand that. It's like, bro, that you were her business.
yeah,
That's all that was. She was getting the likes and everything that she needed to fill whatever is empty inside of her. But she was always going to be that. That's who she was, you
yeah.
know. And this is why I tell everybody, you know, don't get sucked in with the celebrityism or whatever any of this creates. You know, we are all flawed humans, and take us literally with the lightest grain of salt, but judge us by our fucking character.
Yeah.
Straight up.
Yep. And so with that, let's move on to education.
Ooh,
So the education level.
has failed us.
So for those who voted for Trump, unsurprisingly, never attended college, 35% for Kamala, 63% for Trump. Attended college but received no degree, 47% for Kamala, 51% for Trump. An associate's degree, 41% for Kamala, 56% for Trump. A bachelor's degree, 53% for Kamala, 45% for Trump. An advanced degree after a bachelor's degree, such as Juris Doctorate, MA, MBA, MD, PhD, so on and so forth, 59% for Kamala, 38% for Trump. So you can see as the education level goes up.
The more you know how to read, the more you know. You know what I'm saying? It's just, it really kind of comes down that way.
Oh my God. What is the last grade of school you completed? College graduates, 55% for Kamala, 42% for Trump. Non-college degrees, 42% for Kamala, 56% for Trump. So unsurprisingly, people who aren't as educated as others tend to fall for people like Trump's bullshit. So
some would say sheep.
Yeah, I don't think we need to break down that. Education by gender I don't care about that. No matter how you voted today, do you usually think of yourself as a, what does this say?
Asshole. It says asshole.
Yeah, I don't care. Don't care about that. Now, let's get to family income in 2023. For families that made under $30,000, 50% for Kamala, 46% for Trump. 30,000 to 49,000 was 45% Kamala, 53% for Trump. 50 to 99,000 was 46% for Kamala, 51% for Trump. 100 to 199,000 was 51% for Kamala, 47% for Trump. 200,000 or more was 51% for Kamala, 45% for Trump. So this was a little interesting because it was like,
gap in that too?
What's that?
Is there a gap?
Yeah, there's a gap.
Wow.
There's a gap. But the interesting thing here was, as the people made more money, they actually were going for Kamala.
Right.
So that one was a little interesting.
Oh yeah.
Total family income under 100,000, 46 for Kamala, 50 for Trump. Total family income 100,000 or more was 51% for Kamala, 46% for Trump. So again, people making more money actually went with Kamala. Here's a good one. Does anyone in your household belong to a labor union? For those who answered yes, which was 19%, 53% was for Kamala, 45% for Trump. For those who said no, which was 81% of the vote, 47% said Kamala, 50% said Trump. So that I kind of expected, or I would hope to see.
Union teams. Well, it's the Teamsters that I question.
Well,
the
they weren't the
individual.
only ones that didn't. It was the Teamsters and someone else.
Yeah.
There were several unions that. Now, here's the real good one: religion. Protestant or other Christian, 36% for Kamala, 63% for Donald Trump.
Wow.
You like that?
Jesus was on the cross for that.
Yeah, he was right here. I heard him.
Right here.
He just whispered it in my ear.
He grabbed her by the. Yeah.
So again, Protestant or other Christian, just driving home, 36% for Kamala, 63% for Trump. Catholics, which is my group, unfortunately. And by the way, Protestant or other Christian was 42% of the voters. 22% were Catholic. They voted 40% for Kamala, 58% for Trump. And as Ian was pointing out earlier, the Jewish vote, which was only 2%, unfortunately, went 78% for Kamala and 22% for Trump. Something else was Kamala and none or atheists, I guess, no religion, which was 24% of the vote. 71% of people voted for Kamala and only 26% for Trump.
Wow.
So religion played a massive role in this.
Yeah. Yeah.
And which means that abortion played a massive role in this.
Yes, it did. Yes, it did.
Religion among white voters. Here we go. So this is Protestant and other Christian, white voters. This is only for white voters. Protestant and other Christian, 26% for Kamala, 72% for Trump. Catholics, 35% for Kamala, 61% for Trump. Jewish, 80% for Kamala, 20% for Trump. That's Something right. else, 52% for Kamala, 43% for Trump. And atheist / none, 71% for Kamala, 27% for Trump. So the more religious you were, the more you favored the rapist, the felon, the overall piece of shit.
It's really interesting to see how the control aspect too, because America's not going to become a Jewish state, right? It's not going to happen.
No.
But this whole idea and movement of this white Christian nationalist movement that we see, that's really blurring the lines. And when we talk about building walls, the one wall Trump should build is that one in between church and state. Yeah. And you wonder how that's going to get in there. What up, Angry Bunny? Good to see you. Welcome to our powwow. Say whatever you like today, girl. It's our season finale. Say whatever you want. You can make fun of us. You can make fun of the current state of affairs.
By the way, sorry I haven't been paying much attention to the comments, guys. Sorry about that.
Oh no, you have enough data you're reading. Please, you got me look like hooked on phonics right now, so it's all good. So the biggest thing that is with that though is to see that amount. You know what I mean? Like to see how religion, how age, sex, the all these correlations that are there, all these data points, and Ryan, it's staggering. Where then you think about it, you're like, but you're a Christian. How do you vote for a rapist? How do you? And I get turn the other cheek. They just weren't talking about those kind of cheeks that you clapping. And I mean, look, man, we talking about they about to get got. That's all I can say to you.
Bang bang
bang.
Oh my God. So
going down.
White, born again, or evangelical Christians.
Oh, hell no.
Yes, was 22% of the vote. 17% for Kamala Harris, 82% for Trump. The people that said no, which were 78% of voters, that said they were not evangelical Christians, 57% for Kamala, 40% for Trump. So again, religion is definitely deeply affecting the election.
Interesting.
D to the J said Afghanistan taught me about taught me about lack of education's purpose. Ain't that the truth?
Yo, man.
Do they have stats for LGBTQ voters? I don't remember off the top of my head, John, but we're going to go through the whole sit thing. So if they do, we're definitely going to talk about it. I hope they do. Do you have any children under 18 living at home? 27% said yes. And for that, 44% voted for Kamala Harris and 53% for Trump. How do you have a fucking child and vote for a rapist? Like, what is wrong with you? Like they literally say, "Oh, well, it's lawfare." No, it's fucking accountability. You don't get held accountable by two different fucking God, I can't even think. I'm so pissed. Two different juries, grand juries. Fucking grand juries.
Guilty. That's right.
Found him guilty. Not one, two.
Yep.
And the one had mostly white fucking men and women on it.
Oh yeah.
So, like,
fake news. That's they just roll it. It just rolls off, man. All of it, everything you said for the past year, all the convictions, all the stats, everything. It literally, it would not seep in, which tells me that these people are not sponges. It tells me that they are a rock dropped into a puddle. That's it. They were not absorbing anything. They were not taking in any information. That was their guy. That was it. And when you talk about a number of the things that happened in the past year, the so-called alleged bullet that hit him, a bullet this big that left no mark on his ear at all, miraculously. But they walk around with the tampons on their ears.
I love the one interview. They're like, "Well, can you show me the ear? Like, let me see your ear." And he was like, "Yeah, no, it's right here, right here." And
yeah, like right here. It's right here.
They were like, "Huh? Like
right here.
I don't see shit."
Nothing. Not a goddamn thing.
But so let's move on to the parents. They actually break them down. Men with children, 13% of voters, 37% for Kamala, 60% for Trump. Wow. Way to go, men. Way to protect your kids.
Wow.
Women with children, which were 14% of the voters, 51% for Kamala, 46% for Trump. Men without children, 34% of voters, 44% voted for Kamala, 54% for Trump. Now, let me just compare that again. Men with children, 37% voted for Kamala. Men without children, 44% voted for Kamala. So to the men with children out there who voted for Donald Trump, what the fuck is wrong with you?
They're just like him. They want to fuck their daughter.
Oh, shit.
Play the clip. I didn't say anything that he didn't.
No, you didn't. I've got the clip. I just don't have it.
I don't mean on this show. I don't want to hear the shit.
No, it's yeah, no. I don't want to hear his fucking voice.
No, play the clip. It's for all those who are listening on the podcast. Go watch that clip. I'm not making that up.
So, are you currently married? 54% of voters said yes, and in that, 43% voted for Kamala, 56% for Trump. For the 46% of voters that said no, they were not married, 54% voted for Kamala, 42% for Trump. I'm seeing a trend here.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Gender by marital status. Married men, 60% for Trump, 38% for Kamala. Married women was 51% for Trump to 48% for Kamala. Non-married men was 47% for Kamala, 49% for Trump. And non-married women was 59% for Trump, 59% for Kamala, and 38% for Trump.
Those are my cat ladies right there.
Like, oh, are you gay, lesbian, bisexual, or transgender? So here we go. I don't know if it's gonna break it down more than that. But so the question is, are you gay, lesbian, bisexual, or transgender? 8% said yes, and of those 8%, 86% voted for Kamala and 13% voted for Trump. So
Lindsey Graham was of that 13%.
I mean, every group. I'm just glad to see that one was pretty largely for Kamala. Yeah. For the 92% that said no, they were not gay, lesbian, bisexual, transgender, 45% voted for Kamala and 53% voted for Trump.
Because their rights were not going to be under.
Exactly. Kind of expected that one. Yeah. Have you ever served in the U.S. military? For my fellow veterans, unfortunately, 12% of voters who said yes, 34% voted for Kamala, and 65% voted for the domestic terrorist. For the 88% of voters who did not serve in the military, 50% voted for Kamala and 48% voted for Donald Trump. Now, Ian, if you'll allow me,
do it, baby.
I just want to remind everybody of a few things. Number one, Donald Trump has said that our soldiers are losers and suckers, our soldiers that lost their lives in war. He's also called John McCain some pretty nasty names while pushing his agenda. Also, Donald Trump went to Dover Air Force Base a whopping one time to receive the bodies of the soldiers who died under his watch. And he refused to go back and sent Mike Pence the rest of the times because when he got there, there was a father of one of the Navy SEALs who dressed him down and said that it was his fault that his son had died. And because of that, he never went back because he's a coward. So if I'll also remind you that he set up a lot of the Afghanistan withdrawal, and Biden just had to take it over and get blamed for it all, which, by the way, was a big part of the plan. And then I'll also remind you of when Donald Trump was in office and we abandoned our allies, the Kurds. So if you are in the military or you are a veteran, you voted for this dude, the domestic terrorist who tried to overturn an election and who is a horrible fucking person and says horrible things about our veterans and military and refuses to show up to receive the bodies of the soldiers that he got killed. You are one dumb motherfucker. And you're a disgrace to the uniform we wore, you're a disgrace to the flag, and you're a disgrace to your fucking family. I'm done.
No, I think it needs to come from you. I never served. I give you a lot of respect for what you've done for this country and what you continue to do. What you have sacrificed time and time again.
My wife sacrificed a lot more.
Yeah, you and your family, man. And Jen, a big shout out to Jen for what she's sacrificed and what this election meant to her.
And if I can, I would be remiss if I didn't say this. I got to watch my wife's the last 5-6 years of her career. So I wasn't with her the full 20 years, but I was with her for the last probably quarter of her career. And in that, I got to watch her test for her rank a couple times. I got to see her passed over for things. I got to see people get credit for work that she had done. So seeing somebody in the military who is a woman, who is also Black, and seeing what she went through, I wish that every American could have that same perspective that it gave me. Because if you see that, when you truly can see somebody not being treated the same as somebody else or another group of people, that should upset you. And it probably didn't upset me that much before because I wasn't married to a Black woman. I didn't have Black kids. So again, like Ian said, it didn't directly affect me. So was it something I thought about a whole lot? No. But when I had a wife and I got to start watching her career path and the things that she went through and compared it to how my career went and how other people's careers go, and knowing that she isn't alone. Yeah. There's so many women in the military that have to worry about being assaulted. And we're talking, when you're in the military, it may be different, maybe the numbers may be a little different now, but we're talking like 8 out of 10 people in the military are male.
Yeah.
So, like the threat is, whether you want to realize or not, is pretty high in the military for women to be assaulted, unfortunately. So not only are they not getting, a fair shake in their jobs, but they also have this personal fear that they have. So, to see people voting for that, voting for the people that, are, like I said, literal rapists. This isn't, there's court documents. Like, I'm not making this shit up.
No.
So, he's an accused pedophile. He's a rapist. He's a convicted felon. And they just handed him the keys to everything.
Yeah.
I just don't get it. But I think the perspective I have, because I've watched my wife go through it all and do it all with a smile on her face. And
sounds like hope. She carries
that
hope.
It wasn't hope. It was survival.
What do you think are correlated? within the
They
Black
are,
community.
but she didn't have a lot of hope. That was one of the reasons she was getting out. She didn't have hope.
The ending, I mean, look, you could be hopeful, Ryan, and then it clearly becomes insanity because you're like, okay, what are you doing? But what I mean by that is she knew
Hope leads to insanity.
You know what I mean? But I'm saying to you in the context of like she knew when it was time to go. Like she's not an idiot, like just sitting there
Well,
just twiddling her thumbs.
again, the way she was treated, she
Yeah.
didn't want to leave.
Right.
She ended up. They told her they weren't going to deploy her because I had 2 back surgeries, so she knew she was going to have to be home for at least 4 months while I recovered to the point where I could like pick up the kids. Like I literally couldn't pick up the kids for 4 months. So they literally, like, she went through everything she was supposed to do. She went to the first shirt, she got the commander signed off, like everything was done. We get there, I go through the first surgery, which was on my neck, and what we did was we stayed in Philly in a hotel room. I recovered for 2 days, and then I went back in for the second surgery.
Wow.
So we were in a hotel room the whole time, going through all this. We were there for like a week and a half. And while we're laying in the bed and I'm recovering from the first surgery, she starts getting text messages from a couple of her troops, and they're like, hey, Sergeant Shead, they're going to deploy you. And so she starts, calling people, figuring out what the fuck's going on. And so like we're sitting there making plans as I'm going through these surgeries, trying to figure out what are we going to do when she gets back, because there was nobody that could come help me
right.
for fucking 6 to 10 months. And so what she did was, when we got back, she wanted to stay in for another 2 years because she had made rank, and if she stayed in for another 2 years, her retirement pay would be more. So her plan was we were going to do another 2 years. I had signed off on us doing another 2 years, and we were going to stay in Virginia and do 2 more. And the hope was that the back surgeries would allow me to go back to work without any issues, because I was having a lot of issues going to work. And so sure enough, she gets back. They're like, yeah, we're going to deploy you. And she's like, okay, cool. She goes in and she literally dropped her retirement paperwork the day we got back.
Wow.
And like they tried talking her out of it. And she's like, no. She's like, I told you I needed to take care of my family. I got you guys sign off on it. And now you're trying to switch it. She's like, no, I'm done. So yeah, she dropped that paperwork in February. We were done in August.
Damn.
Yeah. So it was just crazy. And then 5 months after that, I had to have my colon taken out.
That was a hell of a year, man.
We had a very rough year and a half, 2 years. It was, I don't know if most marriages would make it through as much as we did, but
that just shows you how strong that bond is too.
It shows you that she's crazy, and she, for some reason, doesn't want to go anywhere.
She got a lot of hope in that motherfucking relationship, man.
No, time invested, I think, is more like it. I don't think she wants to train anybody else. That's all it is.
Sit, boo boo, sit.
Telling you. So let's get back to this though.
Yeah.
Is this the first year you ever voted? 8% of voters said yes, and for those, it was 56% for Trump, 43% for Kamala. Excuse me. And for
first-time voters.
First-time voters.
Wow.
And for 92% of the voters that said no, they had voted before, it was 50% for Trump, 48% for Kamala.
Wow.
Do you think the condition of the nation's economy is excellent? 89% voted for Kamala, or were Democrats. People that said good, 27% of voters, 91% for Kamala, 8% for Trump. Not so good was 35% of voters at 44% for Kamala, 54% for Trump, and 33% of voters said poor, with 10% going for Kamala and 87% voting for Trump. So, yeah, no big surprise there.
Wow.
Compared to 4 years ago, how is your family situation? The people that say worse today, 46% of voters. Are you people fucking stupid? Like, that's the problem. When you ask these people, how is your life worse today? And what led to the things that are making your life worse? Like, they never.
I think that's a fake ass question, though.
I mean, it kind of is, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's not a gotcha question, but it's one of those things where it's like, literally 4 years ago, you couldn't even get toilet.
Yeah, is it because you ran up your own credit cards and you have no financial responsibility? Like,
Like,
what's the
what
reason?
personal choices did you make? And it sounds like
Exactly.
you don't make good decisions.
Exactly.
Clearly by this data. Who do I want? The rapist or the cop? It's like, wait a minute.
Listen to this question. In the last year, has inflation caused you and your family a severe hardship, 22% of voters, a moderate hardship, 53% of voters, and no hardship at all, 24% of voters? So again,
but what caused inflation?
Well, yeah, they don't understand all that.
Is that why is that not a question for the exit? Do you
Yeah.
understand how inflation works? Do you understand how a tariff works?
Yeah. But also inflation, I want to point out, our economy and our inflation level rivals pretty much any other country in the world. So, again, it's not like only America is suffering all these things. Like, every country was coming out of COVID and having to deal with inflation issues and all sorts of shit.
4 years ago, I was trying to figure out where the fuck to get a goddamn shot in my arm.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out if I was going to have enough toilet paper because too many people were buying it all up.
Do you know what I mean? Like, that's literally what I remember. And all of it's a blur. Let's be serious. It was such a weird time. But Ryan, these questions alone, I mean, this is idiotic at best.
Well, here's a good one. Which one of these 5 issues mattered most in deciding how you voted for president? Foreign policy, 4% of voters, 37% voted for Kamala, 57% voted for Trump. So again, to the foreign policy people, like what, he just abandons our allies and pulls us out of accords. And
America first. Here we go.
Abortion, 14% of voters, 74% voted for Trump, 74% for Kamala, 25% for Trump. The economy, 32% of voters, 19% voted for Kamala, 80% voted for Trump, which proves a lot of you people don't understand how the economy works or corporate profits.
Or know this man's actual resume and how many bankruptcies he has.
Yeah, no shit. That's the thing. Like, they act like this dude is like some great. He's not a good businessman.
No.
Like, he's bankrupted so much shit. That's what he does. He's a leech.
He can't read. And on The Apprentice, it was a whole conversation on how they had to edit that show together. He can't read.
Immigration, 9% voted for Kamala, 90% voted for Trump. The state of democracy, 34%, 80% voted for Kamala, 18% voted for Trump. So democracy.
But we'll take a
chance. But everything else, fuck it.
Well, let's see about this inflation thing. Maybe we'll have democracy at the end.
Which one of these 4 candidate qualities mattered most in deciding how you voted for president? Has the ability to lead, 30%. Those are the most voters. 33% voted for Kamala, 66% voted for the business fraud.
Wow.
Like, are you serious?
Wow.
Not the woman who was a district attorney, an attorney general for the state of California, a U.S. senator.
Most qualified candidate running for president, more than Reagan, more than JFK, more than Obama, and definitely more than this soggy ass pumpkin that she just lost to.
Should most undocumented immigrants in the U.S. be offered a chance to apply for legal status? 56% of voters, 75% voted for Kamala, 22% for Trump, and 40% of the voters chose deported to the countries they came from. 11% were for Kamala, 87% were for Trump.
Wow.
U.S. support for Israel, too strong, 31% of voters, and they were 67% for Kamala, 30% for Trump. Not strong enough, 30% of voters, 82% voted for Trump, 17% voted for Kamala, and about right, 31% of voters was 59% for Kamala and 39% for Trump. So that was kind of interesting. No, which is closest to? That's to be expected. Who do you trust more to handle abortion? Kamala Harris, Donald Trump? So 49% said Kamala, 45% said Trump.
It's all because Trump said, I will protect you, whether you like it or not.
How confident are you that this year's election is being conducted fairly and accurately? Very confident, 84% for Kamala, 14% for Trump. Somewhat confident, 33%. Ooh, this is good. 33% for Kamala, 58% for Trump. Not very confident, 21% of voters was 16% for Kamala, 82% for Trump. And not at all confident, 10% of voters was 19% for Kamala, 79% for Trump. And so these motherfuckers aren't confident in the election that just had that Trump won.
But at the same time, they were the ones who were saying that there's election fraud at the very beginning of the election night, and then they were silent the next day.
Yep.
Not one damn peep.
It's almost like even the Trump people are going, this seems off.
they ain't saying nothing.
Like, it almost looks like we cheated too much.
We won't get caught.
Yeah. Like, yeah, you got caught counting cards.
Who
bitch.
knows? I do. Looking back, I do think it's a little odd that Trump said you don't even have to vote. There's clips of him talking prior to the election, and he's like, you don't have to vote.
I don't need your vote.
I don't need your vote. I don't need you to vote.
Because I already bought this bitch.
We have things taken care of. And it's like, that's a little weird. Where'd that come from? But you know what? I'm not going to be a conspiracy theorist on this show. I like to stick with the facts.
I'll never understand it. I do understand now how Hitler came into power. And for all you saying we shouldn't be comparing him to that, fuck yourself. Yes, we should.
There's not enough hyperbole. There's not enough rhetoric. There's not enough of a history lesson to talk about this, where it's kind of in the same boat. The failed coup attempt, followed by the election. You know, which one am I talking about, guys? Which one am I talking about? Because they're exactly the same.
So, suburban whites by sex. White suburban women, 19% of the vote was 46% for Kamala, 53% for Trump. White suburban men was 35% for Kamala, 62% for Trump. And other was 62% or 52% for Kamala and 46% for Trump.
So what I've learned from this election is I don't trust white people from the suburbs.
You shouldn't trust white people at all.
That's why I'm glad you identify as a black man.
You said it, I didn't.
You're goddamn right.
It's just, you shouldn't. But like, the data proves it. You should not trust us.
I have a friend.
We will fuck you. Like, if given the opportunity.
We will fuck you. We will fuck you. We will do it, and
we will vote. We will vote to screw your life over if it even gives us like the resemblance that our life might be a fraction of a bit better. If it means that I might have $200 more in my bank account at the end of this 12-month cycle, I'm still going to vote for Trump. Like, these people are just stupid.
We will fuck you, and then we will ask you if you want to go to brunch on Saturday. That's how that is.
and then make you pay.
Make you pay. And then complain about service. Where are all the immigrants who are supposed to be busting our tables?
It's a sad state of affairs because, you know, we've talked a lot about how divisive the country is. Yeah. And it is. And this just made it that much more divisive because the black community literally just checked out on all of America.
Bye.
And again, I think it's rightfully so. There's not many times that we are asked by the black community as a whole to show up and fucking do something. And we were asked to show up for Kamala Harris and we failed. Like, she showed up, but we sure as fuck didn't.
The part that I would say is hard is that when you look at the black vote, when you look at the causes they took up, when you look at the past year alone and how Palestinians and this whole movement with Gaza, this tragedy, this war that is happening, and innocent people are dying, and they fled to the black community to ask for help. The black community stepped up, showed up, and was like, we have your back.
Yep.
We understand injustice. We will stand with you. We will call this out. And then you got Karen with her Kefla jumping in and demanding water at her protest, right? Uh, um, and sitting here and whatever led to the colleges and all this other stuff that we have debunked on who's been funding a lot of this stuff.
Yep.
And this is why I say this is pro Hamas propaganda.
Go watch our other episodes. Make sure you like, subscribe, because we have talked about this.
We have really broken it down in detail of where the money's coming from and how that's worked out. And in my doom scrolling, I've been chiming in, and I just got reached out by somebody, whatever account, right, that belongs to somebody that's helped me and my children, this, that, and the third. And I just replied, ask Trump.
Yep.
We're done. We're done. Ask
Yep.
Trump. Go to Trump. Trump will fix it. He is your savior. Because my issue with the protest, the pro-Hamas protest that took place, they were in Kamala's rallies.
Yes.
They weren't at Trump's.
Correct.
Why is that?
You actually were the one that said it, because I don't want to say I wasn't paying attention. I was paying attention and I acknowledged it, but I think
it didn't click with everybody.
No, it didn't show up. And it probably wouldn't have clicked with me if I didn't have you, like, talking to you off camera.
Yeah.
I think, but yeah, man.
And I'm telling you right now, because Kamala tried to be the voice of reason. She tried to communicate. She tried to extend the olive branch. And I'll be honest with you, looking at it in hindsight, she should have said, why the fuck are you not at Trump's rally? Why am I only seeing you?
And like you said,
she should have been calling it out.
And you pointed out that it was clearly, particularly with the college protests, that somebody had to be paying them. You had said that from the minute you and I started talking about it, was that somebody's paying these people. Why are they only showing up, to Kamala's things? Why are they only showing up to Democrat, events? Like, what's going on?
Yeah. Just who's funding this?
Yeah, who's funding
all
this?
The money.
And when and again, I think it was only 2 or 3 episodes ago. You can go listen. Ian broke down and found, the actual proof of, these people were being paid to show up to colleges and cause these events. And when you're being paid to do it, that's not a protest. That's a campaign event. And so that's where I think we needed to start looking at this a little differently.
Yeah.
This wasn't a bunch of college, kids all coming together like, in the 60s and maybe 70s and protesting something.
No, these were 30-year-olds. These were professional.
These were grown-ass people being bussed in from all over the country, or tri-state area to come and do these events.
Yeah.
So, again, but this is why super PACs, and political action committees really need to have a lot more guidelines and restrictions. Because that's how Elon Musk got away with purchasing support, was he did it all through his America super PAC. That's so right. He could give people $1 million checks and give away $100 for signatures, because under a super PAC you can do that. It's not considered to be an individual. So that's how he got away with it. And we need to fix that, because I truly believe if Elon Musk, Joe Rogan, and those sorts had, kept their fucking mouth shut and not used their platforms the way they did, that this wouldn't have gone that way.
Well, actually, I disagree with you, because I want to circle back on this topic alone when we get to the end of the show, about because this is a free for all. We also are going to address how the DNC fucked up and how Kamala fucked up. And we're going to address those things, because it's not just, whatever Trump did or whoever dropped the ball. No, there's a lot to look at with everyone within this election. But one thing that Dita J said about asking a question about I only asked those questions because maybe white women were pissed that black women didn't, I'm guessing, vote for Hillary is what you're going to say.
I think black women show up. Vote for Hillary.
Black women showed up for Hillary.
Yeah.
Black women, up until this very moment, have been there on the front lines, using their bodies, using their vote, using their platform to push the Democratic agenda. And I honestly have to say to you, there might be a shift in that now, because everybody showed their ass on this election. And that's the harsh reality right now. This is a moment where it's like, you know what? You take all the time you need right now to rest and process what just happened. I'm not going to bother you is the proper response. Thank you for everything you've done up until this point. This is where we're at.
Yeah,
But historically, black women have always voted heavily in Democrat for every election since they could vote in the 60s.
But here's the kicker, though. Like, my office chair should have been able to beat Donald Trump. Like, that's the part like I said, you can go back to the show on Tuesday. Like, I'm dumbfounded. I couldn't believe it because I expected it to be a fucking blowout. Like, you go back and watch the shows.
The harsh reality, Ryan, that we have to deal with, that we have to cope with, is looking at what's under the umbrella of the DNC. And that is, and you've talked about this, you know this extensively. The fact that this coalition is so diverse, and you think about the fact that, like we just said, you have the Jews, you have the Arabs, you have, gays, you have black, you have white, you have Asian, you have everything under this tent. And the high majority for Republicans, we already know, majority white.
Mm-hmm.
They are fighting to be the speed bump of progress because they see a darkening of this country. Look at me. Look at your children. This is a factor that they don't want to say out loud, but they are saying out loud.
Yeah.
And you look at the element that's there. Now, mind you, I pass. We understand how America works. Your children are darker than I am. I'm just more like Malcolm X than, most people want to understand the situation. That's the reality. But Malcolm X was a light-skinned brother.
Yep.
And there's the things that are there that we are welcome into certain rooms that others can't get into.
Yeah.
And there's a defining line. My son is a lot lighter than I am. And we're sitting there and it just popped up into conversation of what skin color is something. And we were just going off of everything. And he was like, red? And I go, well, sometimes Dad goes red, whatever. Yeah, whatever, kid. You're 3 years old. You just keep it going. And he put it himself and he was like, black? And I go, absolutely not. You are Casper, my little guy. You are light.
But funny thing is, like, my kids do the same, and it, like, the first time Liv did it, kind of made Jen upset. But Liv's like, I'm not black. Jen turned around real quick, and she's like, yes, you are. She's like, look at me.
But there's a difference. There's a difference between a multiracial kid being raised by a black mom versus a white mom.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And I'm telling you that because Wilma used to brush my hair, having me look like Frederick Douglass in 1992.
Mm-hmm.
My shit was just blown out afro with a comb over. Shit wasn't cute. Looking back, the photos are fun, but that shit was not cute back then. And I think about that where it's like you don't brush.
It'll be time for bed in 30 minutes.
Do you know what I mean? I love that
we always get 30 minutes.
I was about to say, I love how we always get checked. But there is a difference when you are raised by a black mom versus raised by, and I'm not knocking either one. It's a beautiful.
It's a cultural difference.
It's a cultural difference. But my mom was German, raised as a hippie American. It's totally different. You know what I'm saying?
No, it is.
But with that concept. But here's my father who was a Black Panther. So it's just like it was totally just different.
Yeah.
On who you got on what day. But I say all that, I'm not trying to digress, is that when you look at this election, it was a black and Jewish unity that was coming for the White House. And the highest voters for those two were blacks and Jews.
Yeah, hands down.
And the Arab vote.
Men and women. Black and
men and women. And the Arab vote fucked around and they have buyer's guilt now.
Oh, yeah. I want to play that, actually.
I don't know if we're leading to that, but I just wanted to touch on that.
No, I was actually going to say, so now that we've gone through all the analytics, I think it would be a great time to talk about the consequences that we are already starting to see in these election results. And hopefully when we're done with some of these, you'll understand why those of us with kids who aren't white are freaking terrified. And kids of little girls or parents of little girls. Yeah, we're fucking terrified.
Yeah.
So I want to start with, so there have been some text messages that have been going around to black folks. and to say that they are disgusting would be an extreme understatement.
And you have a comment here that's talking about the Trump not being in power right now, that Kamala and Biden are, and that's why they're the ones being protested. And a lot of laughing. Whatever circle jerk you're in, and this is exciting for you. People's lives, first and foremost, are they're being unalived. It's not a laughing matter. And that's the severity of this, that women and children and innocent life is dying in a war. And the topic I'm actually touching on is you have a person running for the leader of the free world, and therefore you have a rally and you have people that are there and you have people who have their grievances. And as a candidate, it is your job to tell me that you're going to fix things and that you're going to be there, and give me what should be hope for a better tomorrow. If you have a war that you want to see changed, how are you not at a Trump rally or calling for his presence to then sit down with him, and how would you fix this? Because there is no plan with anything. He only said, I'll have it done within 24 hours. He has no plan. He only has his relationships, and he's already said to Netanyahu, finish the job. And he was very impressed by how the Mossad handled Hezbollah and how they did the pagers with the airstrikes, with everything else. He loves that kind of shit. And I mean that as in he loves somebody who is cutthroat and a winner. And just context for you guys, Netanyahu got rid of the one individual who was pushing back on an all-out, full-on annihilation. He just got rid of Gallant. And he just put in an individual who is very hawkish and is political. He has no real military experience, and he's there to make sure that Netanyahu gets what he wants. And now that we have Trump, good fucking luck. So you got what you got. So Ryan, take it away to whoever this person is who's laughing. It's one of those things where I just feel like you're laughing from the comfort of your own home here in America or
with
Russia,
no photo and no name, by the way. So
wherever
you're
you
a
are,
pussy.
Yeah,
Just
wherever you are. And I love how eloquent my co-host is here to let you know who you are. And and there's a thing there where it's I'm glad that you can laugh from your little keyboard. There's an element there where people are actually on the front lines. Ryan and I actually trying to discuss this just to have a real topic of this, just to really flesh out some of these ideas. And it's one of those things where I have to put everybody to this, because it's tragic on all fronts, which Ryan and I have always said since the beginning of this last year.
Yep.
It's just very deafening to see that they attacked Kamala the entire process as if she's the one who is literally making money off of this war.
Yeah.
Without even 1 second to try to negotiate with her. We are putting you in office, so now let's sit at the table and talk.
Yep.
That never happened. And it never will. So good luck negotiating with Trump.
Yeah. And what's scaring me is that everybody thinks that we've got like some of these seats in Arizona. This is scary. Like, I'm glad, by the way, we got the proposition passed. So we got the proposition passed that put abortion rights in the state constitution. Okay. So it's going to be really hard for them to
federal
to ban? Get. No, this is just for state. So Arizona state.
I'm saying, what happens if a federal ban?
Federal ban, I think, would supersede state law.
Yep.
Yeah. But I'm just saying, for the state, at least we got that done.
Look who doesn't have hope over here.
So, but this Ruben Gallego and Kari Lake, it's close. And
they're not still done. Is it not official?
No, and they're still counting. It's 83%. Ruben Gallego's only got about a 33,000 lead. And what I want to show you all is, once again, what do you got here? Fucking Green Party taking 57,889 votes, which would more than likely, even if you split that in half, it would have put Ruben Gallego over at the top. So that one's still being counted. So don't think that Kari Lake might not end up, because There were a few other domestic terrorists that they put back in office. Andy Biggs being one of them. He was one of the people that was had engaged in January 6th. Abraham Hamida, who tried running for attorney general, he's a particular douchebag too. Paul Gozer, another one of the mega domestic terrorists.
Sucks.
Mark Fincham, right here for state AZ State Senate. Yeah, so he won by a crazy amount. He's a piece of shit. He's either a 3%er or what's the other one?
The Oath.
The Oath Keeper. I think he's the Oath Keeper. So yeah, he's a piece of shit domestic terrorist. And yeah, so
who do you think has buyer's guilt right now?
Anybody that voted for anybody else besides Kamala Harris. Yeah. I mean, you guys are the fucking reason. There's no other way around it. The data shows it. White people are racist as fuck. Like, there's just no way around it. And unfortunately,
I think it's white fragility that's there.
Well, here's the problem: is when it was Barack Obama, we weren't asking them to get over two things. We were only asking them to get over one, which was his race. Yeah. With Kamala Harris, we were asking them to get over two things, which was her race and her sex.
Right.
If Kamala Harris hadn't been black, she would have won. And I will say that till the day I die. I'll say that to the day I fucking die. If she wasn't in an interracial marriage, she would have won.
I'm going to say to you that we're not ready for a woman president, and it kills me to say this because we had Hillary.
But Hillary won. Hillary won the popular vote.
But what I'm saying to you is this. We had Hillary, we had Nimrata, and now we just had Kamala.
There's been more than that, but
I'm saying in the last.
But again, Hillary Clinton won.
Hillary won the
people
popular.
Wanted a woman president.
She won the popular vote, and somehow they didn't do the math, and they didn't get the electoral college, which is the only thing that actually puts you in there.
Well, the electoral college was used. You can't see. I don't agree with that because you can't account for anything when the electoral college votes come in and vote for somebody that wasn't even on the ticket. You can't account for that. So, again, you're counting on people doing things the right way. And what the Republican Party has shown is they will do everything the wrong way as long as they win. Right. And clearly about 55% of Americans are okay with that because they probably handle their lives the same way. They probably shit on everybody in their life as long as they get ahead. I know plenty of them.
It's quite telling to see what is in our backyard.
What fucking question did we not answer, douchebag, with no photo and no name? Like, this is the last attention I'm going to give you since you're a pussy ass that doesn't show your name or photo. So what's the direct question you want me to answer, fuckface? Put it up there and I'll answer it for you.
So with that being that there's 55% that the call came from inside the house, right?
Oh, for sure.
This is who we have to make sure we are paying attention to. Because, guys, I want you to understand something. Police surveillance and technology software, I've been checking out the stock market. That stock is jumping up, skyrocketing. What also is skyrocketing is privatized prison. That stock is skyrocketing. There are things that are getting set up in motion where contracts will be put out there. Don't be asleep at the wheel. As I like to say before Ron DeSantis tried to hijack it, stay woke.
So going back to where we somehow got way off, the text messages that have been going out have been pretty disgusting. One example here is, greetings, you have been selected to pick cotton at the nearest plantation. Be ready tomorrow at 5 p.m. sharp. Do not bring your devices. You will not need them. Our executive slaves will come get you in a brown van. Be prepared to be searched upon your arrival. So these have been going out to a lot of people, different versions of it. And yeah, so the FBI is actually looking into this now because it went out to so many people, different versions of it.
I sent this to my friend. I shouldn't say I sent this. I sent this to my friend. I posted about this to a friend of mine, some of my Trump supporting friends. And I said, didn't take long. Here we are.
Yeah. And then
their reply, real quick, Ryan, their reply, oh, that's probably just some liberal messing around.
Mm-hmm.
That's the sheer level. I actually was dumbfounded by that response, where I was like, I can't talk to you.
So then you've got boys going around in schools telling little girls, it's your body, my choice. And that all started with this little douchebag, Nick Fuentes.
Not pressed. The feel when we control your bodies. The feel when you're totally not pressed. The feel when we control your bodies. Hey, bitch, we control your bodies. Guess what? Guys win again, okay? Men win again. And yes, we control your bodies. Hi, I'm your Republican congressman. Hi, I'm your Republican congressman. It's your body, my choice. And
so that's got kids going around saying that shit to little girls now. And I just want to give a shout out to Feminist News and other 98% who used my tweet, took it word for fucking word, and gave me 0 credit to your over fucking 10 million followers. So I just wanted to give you a big thanks for taking food off my table. I love when liberal fucking news accounts do that shit. So, you're all fucking blocked now, by the way. Don't take my shit and not give me credit for it. Like, go fuck yourself.
Sounds like you're part of the black party over here, boycotting all these motherfuckers, boy.
Dude,
what's gonna happen.
You know what? Because when we first got together, you asked me like, "Oh, all these other creators, do you know them?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I know them." And a lot of them are pieces of fucking shit. Like, you'd be amazed at how big a piece of shit some of these left-wing creators are. Like that Jolly Green Ginger motherfucker.
Don't even name him. Fuck him.
Oh, fuck him.
So here we are.
Ton of them.
But what with looking at these are white women's sons, brothers,
That's how they're being raised.
And fathers. And this is what is out there. And I actually was thinking about you, where your kids are spared from some of this bullshit because of how they're getting their education right now.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that it's probably one of the smartest things, because I was even talking to my sister, to Ida, and I was like, Ida needs to talk to you, because the way that you're going about homeschooling with the technology that's there, it might be the best route.
Yeah,
for some individuals. Not to say that we need to run from any of these people. Absolutely not. And I meant to tell you that one of my friends, white girl here, she goes, how am I supposed to be seen as an ally now, where these numbers, this data is out there? And she goes, I've been rocking my camo hat. I'm dying laughing. I'm rocking my camo hat, Walls and Harris. And she goes, so people look at me and we lock eyes and like, we know each other. And I go, well, you don't need to. I go, your walk is mean enough. I think people know you are an ally. Don't worry about it. And she goes, I appreciate you saying that. But she definitely has some bass in her voice when she said this. She was like, but I swear to God, the wrong one looks at me and says something, hands will be thrown. And I go, and that's why I love you.
Yep.
Hi. Shout out to Jess. She's a fun one. She's definitely an ally. She is on the front lines. Let me tell you that.
This cracked me up. Come through, albino panther. Oh, that's awesome, brother. Thank you.
In Wakanda, they call him the White Wolf. So just so you know.
Wakanda forever. Oh my God. Okay, so let's just real quick go through some of these other things.
Yes.
So some of the other things that have happened. You have this black dude. This white dude who is getting up in this woman's face.
This is funny to watch. One more.
It's a black woman. He's saying do something. Look at the way she's looking at him. She's just like...
The amount of control she has.
Oh, just wait.
I like that life. Do something, bro. I like that life. Do something. Now you got my attention.
I like that life. What, beating on women?
Take me out! 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 Knock me out! Knock me out!
And then he scooted away on the scooter.
This is how tough they are.
This is why women get their ass
Stop it.
This is why women get their ass kicked. Yeah, because of little soft ass bitches like you.
He went from that to then Gizmo Duck and getting on his little moped and scooting off.
Yep.
You guys look ridiculous, man.
You guys a bunch of fucking. But that's the type of shit that my wife has to deal with. all these fucking white motherfuckers out there thinking that they can walk up to my black wife and do that shit, and then they see me coming around the corner. Like, yeah, big 6'5" motherfucker. I'll tie your ass up.
Albino panther right there lurking. Just lurking.
Women are property. Types of property: women, slaves, animals, cars, land, etc. Like, wow. These are Trump supporters.
Wow. This is Trump's America.
So for those who might not have heard, Elon Musk, who purchased this election for Donald Trump, was on a call with Ukraine President Zelensky today. Or I should say he was on the call with Trump and Zelensky today.
This is for the congratulation call that a president makes to any incoming president.
Yeah, well, either way, I think the illegal immigrant should probably stay the fuck out of our White House. But, you know, seeing as he's now got his hand shoved up the puppet of Trump, that's probably not going to happen. This was an email sent home to a parent from their child who was at school. Mom, I don't think I can stay at school. And if I do, I'm reporting all these kids. I go to school this morning and so-and-so's boyfriend tells me, hey, Trump won, so tie my shoe, you effing slave. And then everyone laughs. And then so-and-so says, I need a new TCH shirt, so pick some cotton and make me one, slave. Yeah, y'all saw the Nick Fuentes thing. I saw that. Republicans already came out and instantly that night and the next day were saying, oh, so yeah, Project 2025. Yeah, that actually is the agenda. Yeah, no shit. We knew that. Yeah. At least those of us with a brain. Let's see what else. Oh, so Judge Merchan is considering tossing the case. So what's probably going to happen is every single federal case against Donald Trump is going to be paused or thrown out. And the only case that we have that we can put any kind of hope on is the New York case with Letitia James. And yeah, I have zero hope in that actually working. And then I have zero hope in them actually sentencing a now elected president to go do any kind of jail time. That's not going to happen. So to all those people out there who chastised me and made fun of me and told me to shut up when I said that these court cases should absolutely fucking have been settled before this election. And, you know, when they came out and said they weren't going to do that because they didn't want it to seem political. And I said, that's a fucking dumb idea.
Yeah.
I fucking told you. Get used to hearing that.
We called this, you're going to have 4 years of telling everybody.
Special counsel winding down criminal case against Trump because now he knows that there ain't shit he can do.
Which this one we were robbed, and I don't want you to rush through that, is that last December, he literally asked the Supreme Court to give a ruling on the immunity. They waited until this summer to pass judgment.
Yep.
Which then led Chutkin to then finally start the case. And then she had a hearing this past September into October where they talked about a lot of the evidence. But nobody wanted to hear it. Nobody wanted to hear it. Yeah. They were so locked in on this man that they don't want anything to do with it. And Letitia James definitely has put him on blast talking about New York, which is, I'm interested to see what happens because she just said to him that they have been building a contingency plan for this. Mm-hmm. She's been mobilizing with all other AGs across the U.S. And I also listened to the I didn't get his name, but the Washington State AG, pretty much saying the same thing. Yeah. That they are all in cahoots working with each other. And this is not a RICO case where they're plotting against the president. No, this is where they are saying we are following the law and we are making sure that you will be doing the same exact thing. Yeah. So they're going to hold him accountable. But I think that only accountability is really going to come actually from the RICO case in Georgia because he can't touch that case as a president. So it will be postponed until after he's out. And that's if
you mean when he's 82? Like I said, fucking joke.
Yeah.
So no accountability like we predicted. And I do blame the Biden administration, the DOJ, and every fucking jurisdiction that should have hailed him. I blame the Senate because the House impeached this motherfucker twice. And you guys had the opportunity, not once, but twice, to fucking hold him accountable, and you didn't. All you had to do was charge him or find him guilty or whatever the correct terminology is, and he never would have been able to run for political office again, and we never would have had to fucking worry about it. So every senator after January 6th that stood down there and ran their mouth saying how this is so bad and Trump, isn't American and this isn't American way and blah, 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 that you turned your fucking ass around because of money and support and votes, you have no fucking morals. You have nothing.
Yeah.
Because if you did, you would have done your fucking duty, protected the Constitution, and made sure this motherfucker never could have set foot in our White House again. But since none of you have any fucking balls and you have zero courage and you're all pussies, here we are. Now we have Donald Trump for another fucking 4 years, and there's nothing any of us can do about it. So congratulations, you stupid motherfuckers. You've probably ended democracy as we know it, because you've put a felon, a fucking business fraud, a rapist, an accused pedophile, and a dude who tried to overthrow the last election that he lost. You think he's going to go out of the fucking White House without having to be dragged out now? If so, you're stupid, and I've got a fucking bridge to sell you.
That's a good Ryan rant.
And with that, what's your positives?
With the sippy cup, brother. He hit you with the sippy cup. No, we're not going to get the positives yet. There's one thing I do want to add to this. The failures on Kamala are a couple. Their ground game was old school, and they didn't listen to what was happening in today's world. Podcasts are becoming more and more important. Reaching out to people and having a voice and being directly heard by the fans, especially as great as ours are, where you could have a one-on-one and have the conversation like we did with Sarah, like we did with Christian, where you can actually talk about real matters and bring it to the people. Trump did that with Joe Rogan. Kamala didn't. And she should have fucking made time to be on Joe Rogan. She should have done it. She should have done it. She should have met those young men on his platform. She didn't do it. That's the same type of equivalence of what Hillary did, not going to Michigan, Wisconsin, and Pennsylvania when she lost hers. And you can fight me on this all you want, but I will tell you right now, if you're going to be a president of the entire United States, you need to meet people where they're at. And I get all the door knocking that she did. They did an amazing job putting together a coalition of people to be there on the ground, knocking on doors, doing all this. But they were laughing at Trump and they were laughing at Elon. They went into this world where they did as many podcasts as possible. The one thing that I feel is going to be heads cracking, they had $1 billion machine that they created, and they actually ended up in debt, 20 million supposedly. Kamala did. And there's something about this that I have to challenge them. There are going to be heads to crack in the DNC because they didn't listen to the next generation of how to get out there. Like, Ryan, I look at you, I look at how you came from doing in Arizona, running for office, versus how you're doing it now and the exposure that you're creating. That Joe Rogan and Trump episode got 48 million views. And that's on repeat on YouTube. The fact that Kamala was not doing YouTube videos left and right, yes, she did Howard Stern. That's great. That's great.
She did a couple other podcasts.
She did do a couple other podcasts, but she didn't do the ones where the young men were at. And one of the things is that Kamala needed to meet people where they were at. So if you had to build a opposing view of something, she should have saw those young men on the Joe Rogan podcast. He did extend an invite to her. She declined. They said that she was busy. So I as much as I talk shit about Trump, I'm just saying, I told you I want to talk the shit about how she failed.
I don't agree with it, but
it's not about agreeing or disagreeing. It's the fact of what she did or did not do.
Well, but you said they were doing a ton of podcasts. That's not accurate. How many podcasts did Trump do? Name me another one.
He did the what's the comedian one? The one with the mohawk, the mullet.
Andrew Schultz.
That one.
Okay.
All right. I mean, there's a couple others that are out there. I don't know. I don't watch them. I don't know.
Kamala did a bunch too. She just didn't do that one.
She didn't do the one where the young men were, is what I said to you.
I don't think the douchebags that watch Joe Rogan, I don't think there's anything she was going to say to change their minds. I think she knew that.
It doesn't matter. It does matter. I think.
Why put yourself in a position to let Joe Rogan and his douchebags fucking for 2 or 3 hours come up with clip after clip of fucking bullshit? Like, no.
Rogan praised her a year ago. He was praising her.
I don't give a fuck. It was always evident what Rogan was going to do.
That's the one. Theon, that's the one. Yeah. No, but Rogan praised her in a couple, and I know that you and I talked about it back and forth. I go, Rogan actually praised her, and you're like, he's now supporting Trump, and I go, really? That was shocking to me. I didn't realize that he was well at last minute. Of course, it was always at the last minute that he came out.
Yeah.
But within a year, he was praising Kamala about how well she was and what's going on and this, that, and the third. And I said, okay, so was that over the summertime?
It was like
one clip that he did that, right?
Yeah.
That's still praising her. Regardless, he gave her flowers. My point is,
I didn't see it that way.
My point is that, and this made me think of what you dealt with the Democratic Party. When you talked about the politics within and all the bullshit, there was the bullshit within her camp where they told people to sit down and shut up and let them do what they do. And the things they did, it just did not equate to the results that are necessary. Because when you look at this kind of blowout, her voice was not even being heard by anybody to this magnitude. And I agree with you that people were not being sponges. They were not being sponges.
Okay, but what did we say on what did I tell you on the show? So magically, my social media has been getting throttled for months, right? Yes. My messages have been getting throttled. Now all of a sudden, if you go to my TikTok page right now, you'll see that my last few videos have all of a sudden started doing fucking 20,000, 10,000. Yeah. They haven't done that in 2 months straight. Yeah. No video I posted went over more than 1,000 for months. Now all of a sudden, right after the election, my accounts are doing good again.
Yeah,
like I was literally being throttled, and they were pushing right-wing propaganda all 100%. On Facebook, on X, on all of it.
You are not wrong.
And I when you talk about this shit, they should have done no, because it wouldn't fucking matter. The right wing accounts are all being fucking throttled or
but that's being on the right wing.
And the left wing accounts were all being fucking throttled because the people that own Facebook, Instagram, Threads, and X are all right wing douchebag pieces of shit that are only concerned with their own fucking fortune and their advertisers and their fucking stockholders. They don't give a fuck about us or their users. But again, people are too fucking stupid to look at this shit. Like I said, I've been making videos for 2 years. It was very simple. You could have just gone to my page and seen all the videos I made showing you court documents that Donald Trump is a piece of shit fucking rapist, a business fraud, a failure at fucking everything, pointing out all the things that Kamala Harris had dropped as a plan, pointing out how bad fucking Trump's tax plan was for anybody that fucking made less than fucking, I don't know, $200,000 a year. Like, it was horrible. But again, it doesn't matter what you show these people. They're going to listen to Donald Trump, who's a lying piece of shit, and they're going to eat the shit off a fucking plate. Like they and go, that's good. I don't get it. I don't fucking get it. More than half of our country is so fucking lost. It's insane.
And some of that is ignorance is bliss, and some of that is that they are being fed bullshit on social media.
It's so many things. One issue voters. It's like the fucking Gaza people. What do you think?
It's now time for bed.
What the fuck do you think that they're going to do? What do you think Donald Trump's going to do for Gaza better than right. Joe Biden or Kamala Harris is going to do?
Right.
Nothing.
Right.
The fucking answer is nothing.
Right. He's going to have a golf course. Trump
think he's
Gaza.
Not,
that's what's going to happen.
You think he's not going to send any more missiles to fucking Netanyahu? No. You think all of a sudden Trump's going to stop sending shit to Israel, one of our allies?
Yeah, no.
Yeah, good luck with that.
No. I'm telling you right now, Trump golf course in Gaza 2030. Here we go. It's going to happen. It's going to be magnificent. Just watch. No, and guys, don't get me wrong when I say this. Kamala did an amazing job for only having 3 months to really set this off. And getting the amount of votes, the electoral college that she got, that's immaculate. That really is immaculate. The things that I am critiquing are more so about where she dropped the ball on young men. And that's the only thing I'm really saying.
Well, the young men that are walking around telling little girls that, their body, their choice.
Well, they're only getting shit from Trump, from Elon, and from what's the dude's name?
No, that's who they're choosing. No, that's who they're choosing.
That's who's on the platform. That's who's on the platform. If Kamala did this, you and me right now, if she was on a platform like this, if she was on Joe Rogan and she had the questions for him, or she said to Joe Rogan, you talked about that bullshit with Trump. If she had that conversation, somebody would hear that.
And then she would have come off, and then she would have come off as the angry black woman with Joe Rogan.
Whatever role she has to play in that place, because
come on, man, you know that they would have tried to get her as the angry black woman, and that is not going to turn any votes.
We will never know.
No, we won't.
Because
I will forever say that they made the right choice.
I can't speak for her.
Don't let the racist rich pieces of shit fucking use you.
But here's the thing: she went to Fox. She went to Fox, and she wasn't the angry black person. She called him out on it, and she was calm, cool, collected. My man had to, Brett Burt, whatever his name is, had to come back a couple days later and say, "I apologize. She was right about the clip." Like she handled. Like I don't put that on her that she's the angry black one. She saves that for Michelle Obama.
And you know what? There's another thing to look at this too. Why give him the money?
Give Rogan the money?
Yeah. Why let him make $100 million off of her?
Now that's a different conversation. And I agree with you on that. Or she could do it where the money would be donated to whatever cause.
Now, if that would have done it, okay.
You know what I'm saying? If that was
he's gonna make a shit ton of money off of her, and what's she gonna get for it? She's gonna probably come off as possibly at least have the possibility of coming off as the angry black woman. Then she's gonna have viral clips of Joe Rogan being used by right-wing young extremist motherfuckers going around for the last 2 weeks of the. I'm telling you, dude, that campaign made the right call not going on that show.
Which we never talked about. That is the propaganda that was out there and all the Russian paid talk show hosts.
Yeah. So why go on the Russian paid talk show host show?
Is he
Joe Rogan?
Are you
Joe Rogan's being sponsored by a lot of people. He's bringing in money from a lot of places.
Well, the one thing that I need to remind everybody is that Jill Stein literally has dinner with Michael Flynn and Putin.
Yeah,
and there's photos of her.
Jill Stein voters are the dumbest motherfuckers. I think they're below Trump supporters. I think they're even dumber.
Yeah. And anybody who put their faith in her clearly does not know her resume and does not realize. And there's a great clip that AOC said about her, that she only comes out for every presidential race, literally, to run for president, and that there's nobody, she has never built a party around the Green Party that is there to actually advocate for the things that are needed.
Yeah.
For you guys.
You never see her.
You never see her until it's time for an election. And she's only there to literally take away votes.
Jill Stein's a chaos agent. That's all she is.
Yeah. Yeah.
So with that,
what's your positive, my brother?
My positive is that we have 4 years of job security.
I'm fucking tired, boss. I'm tired.
Get back to work.
Why are you saying like that? Whoa.
I know that came out a little too white, didn't it? That came out a little too white.
Oh, your ancestors were talking. What the fuck was that? You guys, this is Ryan and I. This is how we get down.
And my black card's revoked.
You would not be at the barbecue.
Declined. No, seriously. With all of this said, I'm going to repeat what I said at the beginning, and I'm sure Ian echoes this. My extreme hatred for Donald Trump does not blind me to what is best for America. And if Donald Trump can somehow pull his head out of his ass and actually be a good president and good leader, I'll be the first person to applaud him for it. Because I don't want to see America fail. I don't want to see more innocent people killed over dumb shit. I want to see everybody succeed. I want to see everybody with food on their table. And if Donald Trump leads us to that, great. But if he doesn't, which I don't think he will, Ian and I will be here to shine a light on that and make sure that we drag this motherfucker all over the internet for what I assume he's about to do.
And I will always say, may you have the day you deserve.
Yep. And with that, my positive actually is that we're going on a break. I hadn't thought about it until we talked.
Yeah.
And we just kind of started tossing stuff around. You guys have the baby coming here, pretty much any day. And, and then Christmas is right around the corner. And, we've been so busy, and I probably haven't been spending as much time with the family as I could if I wasn't doing everything. And in the last 3 to 6 months has been really busy. So I think I'm going to take this time off. It'll be a month and a half, almost 2 months that we're going to take off. So I'm going to enjoy it. Already kind of talking to Jen about planning a trip that we can take in December.
Nice.
When everybody they'll be off school and everything, so we can go do something. We're going to do Christmas here at the house this year for the third year in a row. So I think we're becoming the where everybody goes for Christmas, which is really nice. I actually quite enjoy it. And the kid Dominic has decided he wants to play soccer again, so we're going to be signing up. I'm going to be coaching again for the winter cycle.
Wait, has soccer finished? Has it?
We have three. Game? We have 3 games left, and then we'll be done. So we finish like right around Thanksgiving. We finish.
I like you as coach in that video, looking a little chilly, a little frosty.
Bro, it was so cold. Jen, and then again.
Don't tell me it's so cold. What was the temperature?
It was like 50, but it was windy. And dude, no, listen. So I'm talking to one of the dads.
You were raised in -20. Okay?
I was talking to one of the dads, and I said the funny thing is, and so let me go back. So Jen and Liv usually come with us to the practices most times, and they came with us. And so Liv is like skin and bone, so she was freezing, and Jen was cold. She's like, I want to go back to the house and get a blanket, and I didn't have a coat or anything. I just had the sweater, and I thought that was going to be enough, and it wasn't. And I was like, can you bring me my Carhartt coat and some gloves? So she drove back to the house and brought me back my coat. So I had that for at least like half the practice. Okay. And she came back with like, all this stuff. So before she gets back, I'm talking to one of the dads. And I said, the funny thing is, I'm like, I growing up, I lived in Detroit, and there was a dude with shorts and a t-shirt out, and I'm sitting there freezing. I'm like, I said I would be that guy, that I'd be out in shorts and a t-shirt and 50 degrees, and I'd be loving it. Blah, blah, blah. I said, man, after I lived here a year and it hit 50, I said, where's my knit hat? Where's my sweater? I was like, I need thermals. I'm like, my God.
I come with my own space heater. How we doing?
I'm telling you.
That is so funny. In New York, I walk around literally in just a vest. 20 degree weather. I'm not even worried about it.
Nope.
It is, give me a sweater, give me a vest, I'm good to go. Give me a
desert
hat.
has turned me into a little bitch when it comes to the weather.
Oh man, but see, it's so wild. I go back to Michigan, I tell people, I go, that shit is like Planet Hoth. All right. You go in there and you got to survive. That's the reality.
They're in Chicago.
They're in Chicago. Both.
Yeah, that wind, that
the lake effect.
The lake effect, that wind chill.
That's the thing that gets you. I told my wife when she first came to Detroit, the very first time we were dating, it was the very first time. And I always tell her, I go, girl, I told you, don't be doing that New York shit. You don't dress cute in Michigan. You dress like you're trying to survive. Okay. I'm just letting you know right now. I go, so if you're coming out to Michigan, make sure you have actual clothes. Like, we ain't going to be looking cute. She got there, and I tell you, within 5 minutes, she was like, what the fuck is wrong? Because we were going out to go ice skating.
Yeah.
I go, that was because you only have 2 options. Either we're gonna stay inside and be miserable all day, or we're gonna just bear this cold and go skiing, go ice skating, do something. And I had her in downtown Detroit, and I remember this vividly. I said, look south. I go, what do you think that is? And she goes, it's too fucking cold. What do you want from me? And I go, that's Canada, south of us. And she goes, what? I go, south, Canada. That's how north you are.
Yep.
Let that sink in. And so she was like, this is some bullshit. I am not prepared for this. And I go, I told you not to dress cute.
I tried to tell you.
I tried to tell you. You ain't listen. You want that New York bullshit. My positive is, like you said, I have a brand new baby boy on the way. We are still trying to get the name. We've been testing it. We haven't found anything better, but we've been testing it. But I always feel like the moment you see him, you know what it is. And, a baby on the way. Chef. Done. Chef Mustafa King. That's gonna be his name. That's gonna be. You guys heard it here first. I'm breaking news. Sorry, Mom.
Oh, your wife's gonna kill me.
It's not gonna be a German name. It's clearly made up Wakanda. But we have a baby on the way, which is really exciting, and it's so funny. And I just had this joke with somebody. It's my second scorpion. I have my 2 little scorpions, my Scorpios, and it really just comes down to, my wife only lets me apparently get close to her once a year. So this is it.
Same time. Yeah.
Same time, man. And it's funny as I hate Valentine's Day, and it correlates with Valentine's. I go, I hate Valentine's Day. I feel like you should love your partner every day, and Valentine's Day is the one day you get to take off. And so it's funny that both of my kids are born roughly 9 months
and
after
your
Valentine's
wife clearly
Day.
feels a different way about that.
Bro, I agree. Scorpios are the best. They're my best friends, and it's so much fun to have a Scorpio as a son. Just the adventures, the intelligence, the EQ, the IQ at such a young age. But little man's birthday is tomorrow, and then the next one, thank you, and then the next one, and he'll be 3, and then the next one is in just a couple of weeks. So they're going to be real close with each other. So it's going to be exciting to have these 2 little Scorpios. So I'm gonna raise them like ninjas. That's where we're at.
I think she had you on a calendar or something, bro.
Bro, she had me on a calendar.
Like,
and you know what I think my wife did?
It's March 16th. Oh shit.
I think she was like, I don't like being pregnant in the summertime or in the wintertime. I want to have my baby in the fall into winter, so therefore I can cuddle a nest. That's my wife.
That actually makes sense.
Oh yeah.
See, Jen, she was pregnant right in the middle of summer.
Oh, see, it's hard. It's the worst.
Yeah, August. Yeah, August was that one.
Yeah. I mean, she was pregnant, but it wasn't the hard part. The second trimester was easy for summertime. I mean, is it really any of it easy? Look at us as men.
Appreciate you, brother.
Yes. Good night, man. Definitely. But yeah, that's one of the biggest things. Oh, and for Jonathan, yo, man, stay blessed. Definitely get your rest. And you already know what the situation is. We gonna take a pause. Let these motherfuckers fuck up for the next 2 years.
Yep.
Done and done.
Because we don't have the house yet either, by the way.
Bro, there's no hope on that. I'm just like, okay, in my mind, they have it. Yeah, and I want them to have it because they have full reign to do whatever they want. And with that ultimate power, it corrupts absolutely. And I'm just like, okay, let's see what happens. And if that is the case, you can't blame nobody.
No. Nope.
So we'll see what happens.
So with our sign off then, I just wanted to give a quick shout out to our sponsor, Christian Ortiz of Mod Atlas and Justice AI.
Dope.
He has created his own AI platform that is able to take out biases from all text. And it's pretty amazing what we can do. We did a sponsor spotlight that is you can download on Apple, Spotify. It's also on our YouTube page, so go check it out. It was a great episode. It's amazing what he's doing, so we appreciate him sponsoring the podcast. We have a few guests lined up for when we first come back. Sarah Higginbotham's going to be talking with us about ranked choice voting, which is clearly something that hopefully is going to be important in the near future. And with that said, we want to wish you all a happy holidays. We thank you so much for being here with us, for supporting us, whether it's in the comment sections or showing up every Friday or sharing a clip or whatever it is. We don't take any of it for granted. We love you very deeply and sincerely. And we look forward to bringing back the next season, which we will be coming back January 6th, which will be the day that they certify this election. So that's the day we'll be back in. Do you have anything before we sign off, brother?
We're going to bring a whole new vibe of J6s. That's what we're going to do. So, guys, rest up. Seriously.
Yeah.
Take this time to be with your families. Take this time to be with your circles, chosen family or not. Yep. Hit the recharge button for yourself. Because once January hits, that's when we get to work.
Yep.
And that was a real conversation that Ryan and I had with each other. And we want that to be also with you guys as well.
Yep.
Take this time for yourselves. And with your families, and just be present, enjoy what we have, and what we may lose. Enjoy it. So here we go. But regardless, happy holidays, happy Kwanzaa, happy Hanukkah, happy Merry Christmas, and stay black.
Amen to that. As always, much love. Keep fighting. Make sure you stay safe out there. Ooh, I almost did that wrong.